Anna Lynn had never thought of herself as special. She was not beautiful in a way that made people turn their heads. She was not loud. She did not dream big. Her life was simple, quiet, and small, like a cup of warm water that no one noticed but still drank. On the night she died, she was only thinking about getting home. Rain fell hard, soaking the streets. The traffic lights at the intersection blinked red, then went dark. Cars honked impatiently, rushing forward without care. Anna stopped at the sidewalk, holding her bag tightly. She hated rain. It made the world feel unstable. Then she heard crying. A small boy stood in the middle of the road, frozen. His school bag lay several meters away. His eyes were wide with fear. People shouted, "No one move. Where are his parents?" But no one stepped forward. Anna's heart beat painfully fast. She remembered her younger self, standing alone after her parents' accident, waiting for someone to help. No one had come. She did not think anymore. She ran. The moment she pushed the boy forward, the world exploded into light and sound. A sharp pain tore through her body. She felt herself lifted, then thrown. Rain mixed with blood. Her last thought was strange and calm. At least he'll live. When Anna opened her eyes again, there was no pain. Only silence. Then sound rushed in. Her phone vibrated violently beside her. The alarm rang, sharp and annoying. Anna gasped and sat up, hands shaking. Her room. Her bed. Her old blue curtains. She stared at her hands. No blood. No rain. No cold. She grabbed her phone. Date, 3 years ago. Her breathing became uneven. "I didn't die," she whispered. Tears poured out without warning. She laughed and cried at the same time, hugging herself like a child. She had been given another life. But rebirth did not mean happiness. The memories stayed. For weeks, Anna avoided roads. She flinched at loud sounds. She woke up at night sweating, hearing brakes scream in her head. Her brother, Mark Lynn, noticed. "You're pale again," he said one morning while making breakfast. "Quit that job search if it's too stressful." Mark was 3 years older. After their parents died, he became her shield, quitting promotions, fighting unfair bosses, always standing in front of her. "I'm fine," Anna lied softly. But she wasn't. She applied to Shoe Group because it was stable, respected, and far from street-level chaos. On the day she received the offer, her hands trembled. "Live properly this time," she told herself. The first day at Shoe Group was overwhelming. Glass walls. Clean floors. People who walked fast and spoke faster. New employees. Conference room, someone called. Anna sat quietly, hands folded. Then the door opened. The man who entered did not rush. He walked slowly, confidently, as if the world adjusted itself around him. CEO Shu. The room stood up instantly. Anna looked up and froze. The face. She knew this face. Not from life, but from death. Daniel Shu looked at her. The color drained from his face. For a brief moment, the powerful CEO looked like a man about to fall apart. His fingers clenched. His breathing stopped. He remembered rain. He remembered kneeling beside a body no one claimed. He remembered signing funeral papers alone. He remembered promising a dead woman he would remember her. Anna felt a strange chill. Why was he looking at her like that? When her turn came to speak, her voice shook. "My name is Anna Lynn. I'm a project assistant." Daniel stared at her for several seconds. Then, very softly, he said, "Welcome back." Anna frowned. "Excuse me?" Daniel looked away, expression locked again. "Nothing," he said coldly. Meeting dismissed. That night, Daniel stood alone in his dark office, city lights flickering like distant stars. "She's alive," he whispered. For the first time in 3 years, he allowed himself to cry. "This time," he vowed, "I will not let you disappear." Daniel Shu did not sleep that night. The city outside his office window never truly rested. Lights flickered on and off in distant buildings, like breathing. He stood there for hours, replaying one moment again and again, Anna Lynn sitting in the conference room, alive. Her hair was shorter now. Her eyes looked more tired. But it was her. The woman who had died in front of him 3 years ago. He had identified her body. There had been no family present at the hospital. No emergency contact. Just a thin wallet and a cracked phone. Daniel remembered asking the nurse, "Does she have anyone?" The nurse had shaken her head. So he became the one. He paid for the funeral. Chose the white flowers. Stood alone as the coffin was lowered into the ground. Rain fell that day too. "I'm sorry," he had whispered. "I should have gone first." Now she was alive, working under him. Fate was cruel. Fate was laughing. And Daniel refused to let it win again. Anna's second day at Shoe Group felt strange. She sensed eyes on her. Not judging, guarding. Whenever she lifted her head, Daniel was already looking away. When she stayed late organizing reports, someone from admin suddenly appeared. CEO Shu said to turn off the lights at 10, the woman said kindly. Anna frowned. "But I didn't ask." "It's company policy," the woman insisted, smiling. Anna knew it wasn't. At lunch, Sophie Chen sat across from her. Sophie was elegant, confident, and clearly ambitious. Her smile never reached her eyes. "You're lucky," Sophie said casually. CEO Shu rarely notices new staff. Anna forced a smile. "Maybe I'm just forgettable." Sophie laughed softly. "Let's hope that's true." The words lingered like a warning. That afternoon, Anna made a small mistake in a data table. She corrected it immediately and prepared herself for criticism. It never came. Instead, the department manager announced, this error was a system issue. "Everyone move on." Anna looked up, confused. Across the room, Daniel closed his laptop slowly. That evening, Anna worked late again. The office grew quiet. One by one, desks emptied. The sky outside turned black. Suddenly, the lights went out. Complete darkness swallowed the room. Anna froze. Her breath caught painfully in her chest. Her hands turned cold. She backed away, hitting a desk. "It's just a power cut," she told herself. But her body remembered something else. Rain. Screaming brakes. Her vision blurred. Then footsteps approached. Light returned. Daniel stood in the doorway, holding a flashlight. His expression changed the moment he saw her face. "You're afraid of the dark," he said without thinking. Anna stared at him. "How do you know?" she asked quietly. Daniel realized what he had said. He stiffened. "I guessed," he replied. Silence stretched between them. Anna looked down. "Thank you." Daniel nodded and turned to leave. But his hands were shaking. The next morning, Anna's brother Mark waited outside the building as usual. "You're working too late," he said, handing her coffee. "This place doesn't feel right." "It's a good company," Anna replied, though doubt crept in. "I'll be careful." Mark looked past her, at the building, at the name Shoe Group, at the man standing behind glass walls watching them. Daniel noticed Mark too. Their eyes met. Something unspoken passed between them. Sophie's patience ran out. On Friday, Anna was assigned to deliver confidential files to the finance floor. When she arrived, the hallway was empty. The lights flickered. As she stepped inside the storage room, the door slammed shut behind her. The lock clicked. Anna's heart dropped. "Sophie," she called. No answer. Darkness pressed in. Her breathing became fast and shallow. Minutes passed. Or hours. Then, the door burst open. Light flooded the room. Daniel stood there, chest rising sharply, eyes filled with rage and fear. "Who did this?" he demanded. Anna shook her head weakly. Daniel noticed the scratch on her hand. He clenched his jaw so hard it hurt. "This won't happen again," he said firmly. The next day, Sophie was transferred out of the department. No explanation. No appeal. The office buzzed with rumors. Anna felt uneasy. She knocked on Daniel's office door. "CEO Shu," she said softly, "why are you helping me?" Daniel looked at her for a long moment. "Because," he replied slowly, "someone once helped me when no one else would." Anna's heart tightened. That night, Daniel stood before an old photograph, a picture of a grave with no visitors. I carried your coffin alone, he whispered. I won't carry regret again. Outside, Anna looked up at the stars. For the first time since her rebirth, she felt something unfamiliar. Not fear, but connection. The office of Shoe Group looked calm on the surface. Glass walls, polished floors, quiet smiles. But underneath, it was a battlefield. Power moved silently. Words were weapons. And mistakes were used to bury people. Anna learned this the hard way. After Sophie Chen was transferred, the department atmosphere changed. People became cautious around Anna. Conversations stopped when she walked past. Some smiled politely, but their eyes were guarded. She has CEO Shu's protection, someone whispered. That kind of attention is dangerous, another replied. Anna heard everything. She did not want special treatment. She wanted to work, to prove she belonged here. But the invisible pressure weighed heavily on her chest. One afternoon, Anna stayed behind to a project proposal. She noticed numbers did not match. After checking carefully, she realized the error was not hers. The mistake came from an earlier report signed by Sophie. Anna hesitated. If she corrected it publicly, she would expose Sophie. If she stayed silent, the blame would fall on her team. She remembered her old life. Always staying quiet. Always choosing safety. Her fingers tightened around the paper. I'll fix it, she whispered. At the meeting, Anna stood up. There is a data inconsistency in the budget, she said calmly. I traced it to last month's report. The room went silent. Sophie's former allies exchanged looks. The department manager frowned. Are you sure? Yes, Anna replied. I have evidence. Before she could continue, someone interrupted. Enough. Daniel's voice was cold. Meeting adjourned. Everyone stood up quickly, confused. Anna's heart sank. Did I overstep? She thought. After the meeting, Anna was called into Daniel's office. She stood nervously, hands clasped. Sit, Daniel said. She did. Why did you speak up? He asked. Anna took a breath. Because if I didn't, the project would fail. And I don't want to hide anymore. Daniel studied her carefully. You're not afraid of becoming a target? Anna smiled bitterly. I already am. Daniel felt something twist inside him. You did well, he said quietly. Anna looked up, surprised. But, Daniel continued, this place is not kind to honest people. I can protect you, but only to a point. I don't want to hide behind you, Anna said firmly. I want to stand on my own. Daniel nodded slowly. For the first time, he stepped back. That evening, Mark waited outside again. Something's wrong, he said as soon as Anna appeared. Your eyes look tired. They always do, Anna joked weakly. Mark stopped walking. Are they bullying you? Anna wanted to say no. But the words stuck in her throat. Mark's face hardened instantly. I'll talk to them. No. Anna grabbed his sleeve. Please. This is my fight. Mark stared at her, shocked. She had never said that before. I can't keep living like I'm about to disappear, she said softly. I want to be strong. Mark sighed and placed a hand on her head. Then I'll stand behind you. Sophie did not disappear quietly. Transferred to another department, she felt humiliated. Losing control made her reckless. She leaked a rumor. Anna was said to be Daniel Shu's special woman. The gossip spread fast. People watched Anna differently. Some with envy. Some with contempt. During a client presentation, a senior manager openly questioned Anna's role. Is this assignment based on skill, he asked sharply, or personal connection? The room grew tense. Anna's face flushed. Daniel's jaw tightened. But before he could speak, Anna stood up. I earned this role, she said clearly. If you doubt my work, question the report, not my character. She bowed slightly. If I fail, I will leave. Silence filled the room. Daniel slowly leaned back, eyes filled with something close to pride. That night, Anna returned home exhausted. Mark cooked dinner. Simple dishes. Warm soup. You did well today, he said. You don't even know what happened. I know my sister, Mark replied. Anna smiled, a real smile. Across the city, Daniel sat alone in his office. He replayed Anna's words. I don't want to hide. He realized something painful. In her first life, she had died protecting someone else. In this life, she was learning to protect herself. And maybe, he needed to stop shielding her so tightly. Because strength, once taken away, never grows. He picked up his phone, hesitated, then placed it down. This time, he whispered, I'll walk beside you. Not in front. Outside, the city lights flickered. The battlefield was quiet. But the war between fate, fear, and courage had just begun. Rain returned to the city. Not the violent storm from 3 years ago, but a quiet, steady drizzle that soaked the streets slowly, patiently. It reminded Anna of things she did not want to remember. That morning, she felt uneasy for no clear reason. At work, Daniel was distant. He spoke less. His eyes lingered on her longer than usual, as if measuring time. By afternoon, Anna was called into his office again. This time, his voice was different. Anna, Daniel said, do you remember the night you were hit by the car? Her heart skipped. Yes, she answered carefully. Why? Daniel stood up slowly and walked toward the window. The city blurred behind the glass. Because, he said, I was there. The room felt suddenly smaller. You were there, Anna whispered. Daniel nodded. His hands rested on the window frame, gripping tightly. I was the man you pushed away. Anna's mind went blank. I was late for a meeting. I crossed the road without looking. You saved me. Her chest tightened painfully. You died, Daniel continued quietly. And I lived. Anna sat frozen. I followed the ambulance, he said. I waited outside the emergency room. They said you didn't make it. His voice trembled for the first time. There was no one to sign the papers. No family came. Anna covered her mouth. I arranged everything, Daniel went on. The coffin. The flowers. The burial. He turned around. I was the only one at your funeral. The words fell like stones. Anna's tears slid down silently. I stood there and promised you, Daniel said, eyes red, that I would remember you. That your life wouldn't disappear like it meant nothing. Anna couldn't breathe. Her death, forgotten by the world, had been remembered by him. I never knew, she whispered. Daniel stepped closer. When I saw you alive in the meeting room, he said, I thought I was dreaming. I thought fate was mocking me. Anna stood up slowly. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I was afraid, Daniel admitted. Afraid you'd think I was crazy. Afraid you'd disappear again. Anna wiped her tears. All my life, she said softly, I thought I was unimportant. Even when I died, I thought no one noticed. Daniel shook his head firmly. You were wrong. Silence wrapped around them. Outside, rain tapped against the glass. Anna suddenly laughed through tears. I saved you, she said, and you saved me, after. Daniel smiled sadly. But I couldn't save you when it mattered. You did, Anna replied. You remembered me. Those words broke something inside Daniel. That night, Anna walked home alone. The city felt different. Her death had not been meaningless. Her life, both lives, had left a mark. At home, Mark noticed her red eyes immediately. What happened? He asked. Anna hesitated, then told him everything. Mark listened silently, fists clenched. That man, he said finally, carried this alone for 3 years. Anna nodded. Mark exhaled slowly. Then I was wrong about him. The next day, Sophie made her final move. She submitted a complaint accusing Anna of favoritism, attaching misleading evidence. The board scheduled an emergency review. Anna was summoned. She stood alone in the conference room again, just like before. Daniel did not intervene. Not this time. Anna felt fear rise, but she remembered Daniel's words. I'll walk beside you. She spoke calmly, presenting clear proof. She did not attack Sophie. She explained her work. The board listened. In the end, the complaint was dismissed. Sophie resigned 2 days later. That evening, Daniel and Anna met at the crosswalk near the company. The same kind of road. Cars rushed by. Daniel's hand twitched unconsciously. Anna noticed. She smiled gently and took his hand. "Look," she said. "I'm alive." Daniel's eyes softened. "Yes," he replied. "You are." For the first time, neither felt afraid of the road ahead. After the board meeting, something inside Anna changed. It was not sudden confidence or loud courage. It was quieter, steadier. Like finally standing on solid ground after years of floating. She stopped arriving early just to avoid attention. She stopped apologizing before speaking. When people questioned her ideas, she answered calmly instead of shrinking. The office noticed. "She's different," someone whispered. "She doesn't look scared anymore." Daniel noticed most of all. He watched her from a distance now. Not as a shield. As a witness. For the first time, he forced himself not to interfere when minor problems arose. When Anna faced a difficult client alone, Daniel stayed in his office, hands clenched, trusting her. And she succeeded. One afternoon, the company announced a new social responsibility project. Shoe Group will sponsor a city safety campaign, the manager said. "We need a team leader." The project involved traffic safety improvements, crosswalk monitoring, broken signal reports, public awareness. Anna's heart raced. Crossroads. Roads. Fate testing her again. Before she could stop herself, her hand lifted. "I volunteer," she said. The room went quiet. Daniel looked up sharply. Anna met his eyes, calm, steady. "I want to do it," she added. The manager nodded slowly. "All right. Anna Lynn will lead." Daniel said nothing. But that night, he waited for her downstairs. "You don't have to prove anything," he said quietly. "I know," Anna replied. "That's why I chose it." The project moved fast. Anna visited busy intersections, talked to traffic police, spoke with families who had lost loved ones to accidents. Each conversation reopened old wounds. But she did not run. At one crossing, the same kind where she once died, Anna stood as volunteers installed temporary signs. The traffic light flickered. For a moment, panic rose in her chest. The sound of brakes echoed faintly in her memory. Daniel stood a few steps away, watching her carefully. Anna closed her eyes. Then she raised her hand and signaled the cars to stop. The world obeyed. Cars slowed. Drivers waited. Children crossed safely. Anna opened her eyes. She was breathing. She was alive. Daniel felt his throat tighten. She had crossed the road without dying. She had crossed her fear. Later that evening, they sat on a bench nearby, watching the city lights. "I used to think fate was something fixed," Anna said. "Like a road you can't change." Daniel nodded. "I tried to control it. I failed." Anna looked at him. "You didn't fail. You remembered." Daniel smiled faintly. "But now," Anna continued, "I think fate listens. Maybe not to fear, but to courage." Daniel turned to her. "Then promise me something," he said. "What?" "Don't disappear again." Anna smiled softly. "I won't. Not from my own life." Meanwhile, Mark faced his own decision. A company from another city offered him a job, better pay, higher position. It meant leaving Anna. That night, he told her over dinner. "I think you'll be okay," he said carefully. Anna felt a tightness in her chest, but not panic. "I will be," she said. "You raised me well." Mark laughed. "You're younger than me. But you protected me like a parent." Mark grew quiet. "I don't need a shield anymore," Anna said gently. "Go live your life too." Mark's eyes shone. At work, the safety project was a success. Media praised Shoe Group's responsibility. The board recognized Anna publicly. "Anna Lynn showed leadership and courage," the chairman said. "She is promoted to project manager." Applause filled the room. Daniel watched her stand under the lights, no longer afraid to be seen. For the first time in 3 years, he felt peace. That evening, Daniel met his father. "You've changed," Mr. Shu said. "You stopped controlling everything." Daniel replied calmly, "Because people are not things." At the crosswalk again, Daniel and Anna stood side by side. The light turned green. They stepped forward together. Not because the road was safe, but because they chose to trust themselves. Spring had arrived. The city smelled of blooming flowers and wet asphalt. Streets were brighter, softer, somehow lighter, as if the world knew Anna had survived. For Anna, every step felt deliberate. Every breath, deliberate. She had survived death once, survived fear twice, and now she was learning to survive life fully, freely, without shrinking. At Shoe Group, the office buzzed normally. But something had shifted. Anna walked in with calm confidence. Her team respected her, not out of fear, not because of Daniel, but because of her courage and skill. Daniel watched her from across the office. He did not step in, did not shield. He had let her walk alone through storms, and she had grown stronger than he imagined. That evening, they met at their usual crosswalk, the one that had once been her near-death, her test of courage. The streetlights glimmered in the rain that had begun to fall softly, like gentle applause from the city itself. Daniel stood close to Anna, but this time he did not hold her hand first. Instead, he watched her as she looked both ways, breathing calmly, unafraid. "I used to think life was something given," Anna said quietly. "Like it was borrowed. Temporary." Daniel nodded. "And now?" Anna smiled, letting the rain touch her face. "Now I know life belongs to me. Not to fate. Not to anyone else. I decide it." Daniel looked at her with eyes full of admiration and relief. "And I'll be beside you," he said, softly. "Not holding you back, not saving you, just walking with you." Anna reached out, and their hands met naturally this time. Not out of fear, not out of obligation, but out of trust. Meanwhile, Mark had made his decision. The job in the other city was accepted. But he was no longer worried. "Take care of yourself," Anna said at the train station. "You don't have to protect me anymore." Mark smiled faintly, eyes glimmering. "And you take care of yourself too. You don't need me, but I'll always watch over you." "I know," Anna said, her heart full. She waved as Mark boarded the train. She watched him disappear into the distance, feeling a strange freedom. She had learned that love and protection could exist without chains. A few days later, Anna returned to the crosswalk where she had once died. The traffic light blinked green. Cars rushed past. Children ran across. People laughed. The city moved on. Anna stepped forward, calm, confident. She did not run. She did not panic. She walked steadily, her heart steady, her mind steady. Daniel walked beside her, silent, letting her lead. They reached the other side safely. For the first time, Anna felt fully alive. Not reborn. Not saved. Just living. Later, they sat at a small cafe overlooking the street. Rain still fell softly outside. Daniel reached across the table, taking her hand gently. "You've changed everything," he said. Anna smiled, squeezing his hand. "No, we've changed everything. Together." Daniel shook his head. "I thought I had to protect you from fate. But you've shown me, courage is its own shield." Anna laughed softly. "And sometimes, it's nice to have someone walk beside you." Daniel's smile softened into something warm and rare. Yes. Someone to walk beside. That night, Anna lay in bed, thinking of the past, the rain, the coffin, the fear, the heartbreak. She realized something. She had lived twice. But only now, fully, did she live for herself. She did not need to be rescued. She did not need to hide. She did not need to fear. She was alive. And the life before her was hers, completely, without apology, without regret. The final scene shows Anna and Daniel walking hand in hand along the street. Rain falls softly. The city moves around them. Life is uncertain, noisy, messy. But they walk confidently. Together. Not because fate chose them. Not because someone else saved them. Because they chose to live.